So just dropped off my first ride of the day. Little $6.93 comfort ride. I took it. It was on my way to the charger. We are going to go get this day started. It is, it's been rough since my last video. Like, I know everybody is hurting. Everybody's wondering what the hell happened to Rideshare. It just collapsed. Very difficult to make your earnings. Matter of fact, last week, 4th of July weekend, worst weekend, holiday weekend I've ever seen. But while I was looking back to see what I earned on the previous 4th of July, I looked at the week, because you got to go by the week and then the day. And I was shocked. Last summer, driving the same car, and this isn't counting Lyft, this is just Uber, I averaged about $1,100 a week. Now, some would say, well, Vinny, you had to work more because you had the drive whip rental, and that's got nothing to do with it, right? The money's the money. If the work is there, if the rides are there, if you're out here, you're going to take the rides. But anyway, I digress. This summer, I don't think I've broken $600 yet, June or July. Now, is some of that because I'm putting less hours out here on the road? Of course, because why should I sit in the car and wait for a ride that's not there? Like, Uber might want you to sit out there. Lyft's not a serious company, but Lyft might want you to sit out there, and then they get you sitting there for a while because there are so many drivers now, and the demand is down. We have to admit, it's a double-edged sword. There are less people using Uber and Lyft to get around, and there are more drivers in the summer as schools are out, all of those. We've been through that a million times. Anyway, I'm starting this off by saying this. Everything has changed. We're going to talk about the complexities of it, but, you just got to start fuck that. You got to start looking at other stuff. If you don't start looking at other stuff, if you still try to force this, whether you're a brand new driver, whether you're a veteran, somewhere in between, if you keep trying to force this, you cannot force rideshare. You can't. Matter of fact, you can't force any job. But if you keep trying to force rideshare, you're going to be homeless. You're going to have a lot of problems, man. Anyway, let's go get charged up, get this day started. All right, just charged up, cost us $15.56. We went to 76% because the rain's starting to come, And I ain't trying to get all wet like that, but let's get the app back on. Y'all know how we do. Let's try to make some money. So I'm still running Comfort, Premier Hourly, Comfort Electric. And then last week I decided to turn on UberX Priority. Now, I'm just now getting into the X Priority, but I noticed, that it's not as bad. It pays about the same as a Comfort ride, which, to be honest, is just barely a little more than an X ride. The difference is a lot of people, they'll wait on that X ride instead of paying that extra $2, $3 on a Comfort ride. I'm not saying it helps elevate the rider, but you're not bottom of the barrel yet. And let's be honest, X and Lyft Basic, it's, sometimes can be bottom of the barrel. I mean, it's mean to say it that way, but anyway, the point is, one of the things that has changed since my last video was Uber, at least in my market, went to full trip radar at the airports. Now, I have not gone to the airport and worked at all. I had a couple of drop-offs and rematches, but I have not gone to the queue, got in the queue to watch it and see how it works. We're going to do that now because it's telling me there's about 45 cars in that queue on X. We're not going to turn on X. We're going on Comfort Electric. But I want to go see, is it all trip radar? Because our buddy there, Pascal, you guys see him on the Rideshare Garage, he went in one night. And when he went in, basically didn't change. It was the same as it was before they announced trip radar only out of the airports. There was, you go in there, it'll try to push you to the terminal without a ride, and then tells you, hey, we'll give you a ride on the way in. Then it gives you 3 opportunities to accept a ride. If you don't accept that ride, going into the terminal, it dumps you off and sends you back to the queue, back of the bus type shit, right? So, and that's what he did. And I'm like, Pascal, that defeated the purpose. So, no big deal. We're going to go find out today because it's 1:30 in the afternoon. Flights start picking back up at 2 o'clock. It's raining. I don't know how many drivers are going to hang out to want to do that. I'm not trying to go there because I think I'm going to make some kind of money. I think the airport is dead, wasted time these days. When you look at how busy and how packed these queues get, I mean, it is nothing for us at 6 o'clock on a weekday to see the airport queue at 200, 220, 250 cars on X alone. That's not Comfort Electric, Premier, whatever. XL, double XL, Premier-ish. Listen, I'm just talking about X cars, 200 to 250 cars. And then as you progress later into the evening, when you know flights are tapering down, and there's still 300 cars sitting in that queue. Man, woof. But let's go see what it looks like. Let's go and check it out. All right, so it's been a minute since I've been in this airport lot. So let's see what we're looking at here. Looks like 66 to 70 Comfort cars, 6 to 10 Comfort Electric, 66 to 70 Premier cars. So we're not worried about that because we have on Comfort, Premier Hourly, Uber Comfort Electric, Premier, and Uber X Priority. We don't do shared rides at all. I know some people have the X shared and the X combined, not me. And we're definitely not turning on X. All right, so it is 1:57, and believe it or not, we just got a Comfort Electric trip radar, right? So I took it. It's $15 for 19 minutes. It's going about 7.5, 8 miles. And then I can just spin around and come right back, leave the app on, try to catch some rides coming back towards the airport. My goal, when I worked the airports, I used to want to go for those long trips, you know, but not anymore, man. Those long trips, they just ain't worth it unless I know it's taking me into an area, usually north, or usually way west, like the other side of the state, where I can have an opportunity to make some money. But other than that, nah, bro. We're going to take these short little trips and see if we can get tipped out on these trips. All right, so we just dropped off Miss Allison and her son. Her son, when I pulled up, the mom says, hey, my son, he's impressed you're a flawless 5.0 driver. I'm like, it's not flawless. I got 1 4-star in there. I got 1 4-star. Anyway, we got her dropped off. We got them dropped off, I should say. It took 21 minutes. The rain started coming down a little bit. 11 miles on the trip. Easy to get in and get out. There's no traffic in the airport, obviously because of all the rain. Comfort Electric comes through. Plus, you threw a $5 tip in there. So that made it $19.56 for the 21 minutes and 11.5 miles. Let me know in the comments below. Would you have taken that ride? Do you think that trying to hope we get tipped out on these shorter rides is the way to go? We're going to head back to the airport queue. I haven't even looked to see if it's piled up yet. But we're going to head back to the airport queue. But before we do that, I had to stop, take a piss. So real quick, just got back into the lot. The queue is lower than it was before. But you know what I just noticed? Do you see that car right there, that black Model Y Tesla? That was the car I rented for 1.5 years with DriveWhip. That was my tag, 0120. It's a good car, man. I can't complain. It's a good car. All right, so I'm starting to get some trip radars back now. Just had 2 come through. One of them was there, but it wasn't there, you know. But it was a 433 rated rider, so we passed on that. Another one just popped up to go over to the beach for 16 bucks. I tried to get that one. They said, no, Vinny, you've only been in the queue 10 minutes. You got to be there at least 15 minutes before we give you a ride. It took about a half hour to get this ride. It's another Comfort Electric ride. $19 and change. Going about 22 minutes away. Obviously, I'll come back and I'll post the ride. But Comfort Electric seems to be a hot little target right now at the airport. I got a lot of trip radar requests, and I tried to take them. There were some that were pretty good. There was only like one or two that sucked, and we let those go by. But of the other 4 or 5 that came through, it was paying all right. Just didn't get the call. So got the call on this one. We're going to go in here. We're going to get this young lady. We're going to get her where she's got to go and hope we can get a tip on the ride. All right, we got Miss Maria dropped off. Really nice person, nice woman. Had a great conversation. That ride was $19.24 for 22 minutes and 12 and a half miles. Plus, she just tipped out another $6 and change, so that ride paid $25.86. Now, my question to you guys and ladies is: would you take that trip? Would you take these trips I'm taking right now? We're at 52.35 on 3 trips for today. We're not using a lot of battery. We're not doing a lot of miles. But, and this is a big but, I'm not getting any rides once I drop off. I got the apps on, or the app on, but I'm not getting anything. So I just checked the map. The airport queue is still 40 X cars in queue. So we're going to go back. Comfort Electric for the win. Who knew? All right, so we've been sitting here now a good hour and 15, and nothing's come through. The last thing that came through was a nice $51 ride up to West Palm on Comfort Electric, which I tried to get, but it didn't come through. And all of a sudden, app's gone quiet. I've got one trip radar since, a little Comfort ride for like 15 bucks, which I didn't like the direction it was going, so I didn't take it. It's amazing how it could start out banging, and then all of a sudden, flights just die. Flights died because all of that rain that came through. So it usually means it should be a good night, right? You would think. The only thing is, bro, this parking lot is filling up. You guys want to see? Let me show you how much this parking lot's filling up. Here, let's take a look. I'll show you. So you start looking around. This is the lot at FLL. It's been sitting at like 40 cars, 50 cars. Now I think it's sitting somewhere around, well, let's see how many cars are sitting around now. On X, now we're at 150 cars on X. 140 Comfort, 20 Comfort Electric. But we're in good shape with that because we're at 35 Comfort. But the Comfort Electric is what we're looking at. We're 1 to 5. So hopefully we get another good ride out of here. And maybe I make 100 today. Maybe I don't. Well, hopefully the ride will take me north and I can work my way back to get to that 100 number. Or, I was talking with my buddy Ben. I hadn't spoken to Ben in a while. He was deactivated off Uber because of a background check. And it wasn't like anything was wrong with his background. It was just dragging their feet. Almost 2 months, he couldn't drive Uber. He just got it back a couple weeks ago. So, it's amazing, but it's the truth. You can get rug pulled at any time. We're not going to Carroll City for 20. Ooh, that's a good ride, though. But I don't feel like going to Carroll City. And that's my old neighborhood, Carroll City. I don't feel like going down there. So we turned that. I should have took that ride. Well, it was a trip radar. So there's no guarantee I was going to get it anyway. All right, so we finally got another ride, and, the ride was pretty good. Let me turn this down. This is too damn bright. Woo, it's bright. Anyway, we finally got another ride. It took about 3.5 hours. I'll put the time here from the last little clip that I shot. And it was amazing to me because when I got back into the queue for the third time, I get an inbox message from Uber says, hey, advantage mode experience, you will be prioritized at the airport. Now, when I first went in the airport, 15 minutes, got a ride. Boom, out. Got back into the airport, 20 minutes, got a ride, out. Boom. Got back in the airport the third time, got this kiss of death inbox message from Uber, your advantage mode, you'll be prioritized. I didn't get a ride for 3.5 hours. Now, here's the thing. The ride I got was a pretty decent ride. It was originally $66.43 for 56 miles. And for it showed 55 minutes, but it took an hour and 2 minutes to do the ride because there was little construction on the highway. And then the rider tipped out $25. So it made it $91.47 for an hour drive and 56.5 miles. Y'all let me know down below in the comments if y'all would have taken the ride. You see it here. So that puts me at $143 for the day, right? On 4 trips. Not bad, not bad. Our expenses were $50 a day for the car. The original charging was $15, and that's it. So $65 for the day. We did good. But here's the thing. The thing is, how do you know if you're going to get a good ride like that? Like, there were rides that came through on Trip Radar. I had 3 $50 rides come through to me. One going south, which I tried to get, and 2 going north, which I tried to get, but I wasn't prioritized. I didn't get the rides. So even being in advantage mode, and I know advantage mode don't mean it's a psychological game. I understand that. But it's just, funny, not funny, that I don't get no inbox notice, and bam, bam, we make that money, $50 real quick. Then I get the inbox notice, and Vinny, you're going to sit for 3.5 hours.